Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome back to another week of Fantasy Baseball Recaps. This is episode 7 for 2026, and I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. We had a good week in all of our leagues. I almost did blow it in a few, but again, kept it cool. Was so lucky by the hair of my chinny chin chin. We were able to pull out some wins in a few categories, but we also lost categories by the hair of my chinny chin chin. We're going to go ahead and start with the South Harmon Institute of Technology. Now, you can call me greedy, but man, I really wanted a few more leagues, and we should have had a few more leagues. Overall, we did win 11 categories to 4 categories to 3 categories, giving us an overall record of 66, 38, and 22. When I say I should have had more categories and I'm being greedy, that's because one more hit would have won me the hit category. 2 more hits would have won me the average category, and 3 less blown saves would have won me, or at least tied us, in that category. So yeah, pretty frustrated. But our main contributor this week, of course, Dalen Lyle, my man. Good Lord, he had himself a week. 23 total bases, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, and a stolen base just for good measure. CJ Abrams and Salvador Perez both had 2 home runs each for me. Salvador Perez had 3 RBIs. Come on, Casey, get on base. We also had 1 home run each from Mr. TJ Rumfeld, Mickey Moniak, so glad I have him, Jonathan Elite, which are inside the park, and another giant, Mr. Rafael Devers. Welcome to any sort of productivity for my team. Thanks so much for you. Also, Mr. Xavier Edwards had 2 solo bases for me. I'm so glad I have him. That is a Marlin. That is absolutely someone who's going to make some plays. Now, if he had a little more power, that'd be great, but he's getting solo bases, he's got average, gets runs. That's my man. Him and Otto Lopez. Like them both. Moving on over to the pitching, you're going to hear the name several times during this video. Christopher Sanchez looking spiffy with his complete game shutout win with 13 Ks, 0-0 ERA, of course, with the shutout, and like 0.5 or something like that whip. So happy about that. Spencer Strider also looked great against the Boston Red Sox. Then my man, Kate Smith, had 3 saves, doing big things, man. On the other side, Freddie Freeman, Burt Rooker, and Matt Olson all had slow or very subpar production weeks for me. Also, pitching-wise, Abner Uribe, Brian Baker, and Paul Sewald all had blown saves. Then Sewald and Uribe had losses for me. Ah, oh, that stinks. As we shift to the adds and drops, there's only one. We added Ian Seymour Butts and dropped Mr. Robbie Snelling. Overall, South Harmon Institute of Technology did great for me this week, and I'm happy with that. But should have 1 more stats. And that is going to lead us right into the Russell My Jim Jams team, which again fell short in a few categories, but overall won 12-3-1. We are now overall 53, 40, and 19. Categories that we fell short in included hits, we fell short for it, home runs, which we tied in, and stolen bases, which we fell short 1 in. And that's super frustrating, especially after I tell you that we had several guys get us 2 stolen bases each. But the first guy, the main guy, helped us this week, Dalen Lyle. 5 extra base hits, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, and the stolen base just for good measure. We also had current Rocky, Mickey Moniak, and former Rocky, Nolan Arenado, along with CJ Abrams, get 4 extra base hits for us. And then my man, Yandy Diaz, along with Ryan Jeffers, both had 2 home runs for me. Ryan Jeffers did go on the IL, and he's going to be out for like 2 months. That sucks. Now getting to the stolen bases, we had 2 each from Sal Frelick, Otto Lopez, and Xavier Edwards. Now the pitching side. Woohoo! Told you you'd hear Christopher Sanchez's name even more. But Mike Soroka got us 2 wins and 13 total strikeouts between his 2 games. So the same number Sanchez knocked out in 1 game, Soroka took 2. But that's fine. That's fine, because you'll see why that 13 strikeouts did not need to be 14 or 15. I'll let you know that in just a second. Then, of course, Kate Smith got us 3 saves. As we shift to the other performers, you do again have to bring up Yandy Diaz. Despite 2 home runs, you still hit under 200 for me this week. And again, that's not common for you. So make sure you're getting better, man. Also, pitching-wise, Kevin Gausman, you threw a clunker against Tampa. Then you threw a really good game against Detroit. Did not start you in the game against Detroit because I didn't want to screw anything else up, but come on, brother. Need you to be more consistent. Talking about consistency, my relief pitching, holy cow. Mainly Graham Ashcraft, but you got absolutely destroyed enough for everyone. Also, Jeff Hoffman, Jack Perkins, Finnegan, and Alex Vesia. Due to the adds and drops, it was mainly revolving around pitching, but there was 1 hitter we added, Henry Bolt. Then the pitchers did include Mike Soroka. How he's still available, I don't know. Peter Lambert, who absolutely got blown up after he got taken out of the game. Kevin Kelly, another pitcher for the Rays, who And then Gus Varlin. Is he related to Louis Varlin? He's got to be, right? The drops did include a few more batters, including Jeremiah Jackson, Jacob Marcy, which I was really hesitant about. And then, of course, the day I dropped me, it's home run. And then Owen Casey, another Marlin I really wanted to get behind and save and make sure he was on my team. But, dude, you're hitting around 200. That's not great. We also then had to drop a Jack Perkins and Gabe Spire because he's hurt and I don't know when he's going to be back. Speaking of coming back, we're now going to transition to the Petrie Purgatory team. Last week, we almost lost our unbeaten streak because I had to come back from like 100 down and we barely made it. We won by like 15 points. Well, this week, we were down by like 150 and we had terrible starts. But let me tell you something. We absolutely got decimated by injuries and just terrible, terrible starts. I want to go ahead and tell you who did poorly for us first. First guy, Max Fried. He got us 1 point and burned a start for us. Oh, that stinks. Next, Jack Perkins forgot how to pitch and got us -4. Then Jameson Taillon, one of my favorite players, got us even worse pitching, got us -6. And I actually started him instead of Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes got me 18 points. Okay, cool. Then finally, Braxton Garrett, who I told you all to pick up like 2 weeks ago, -8. Woof. So now, let's go to the people who actually did well for me. Mike Soroka had 2 starts this week and combined for 69 points. Nice. However, Christopher Sanchez from my opponent had 1 start and got 77 points. Cool. Yandy Diaz did get me 53 points. Finally, one of the players I mentioned before, Otto Lopez, was able to score us 48 points. So you see, none of those guys had a ton of points. And in fact, Christopher Sanchez would have had more if he would have had 2 starts, but I digress. We had a lot of help from the opponent's team as well, because he had Graham Ashcraft, he had Brandon Paft. I don't know why he picked him up. Also, Brian King and Ryan O'Kirkering all got negative points between 3 and like -11 or something like that. So I won. I came back from 150 down and was able to pull out the victory, 856 to 833. But come Monday morning, wake up, get my notes ready for this, and guess what? I went over a start. So now my opponent had enough points and he won. We have a 12 start hard cap for this league. So you really have to be mindful who you start, because I mentioned burning a start on Max Fried. We also burned a start on Braxton Garrett and on my boy, Jameson Taillon. I call him my boy because I really do like him, but we burned starts on all 3 of those guys. Yikes, that stinks. But I messaged him. I was like, hey man, what's going on? I see that you adjust points. He's like, you started 3 guys on Sunday. No, I didn't. I only started 2 guys. And that 3rd guy that he saw was actually Miles Mikolas, who came in bulk relief. Pitched 5 2/3 of an inning, and he got me 14 points. So that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But that helped me. So I messaged him. He's like, I'll take a look, man. I'm getting some stuff done now, doing stuff. So he went back, and I won. As you saw previously, I did win. But man, I was sweating bullets. I was so upset. My guys came up absolutely huge for me. So excited. Now, there was one scary thing because he still had Jeremiah Estrada and Anthony Munoz from the Padres and the Mariners, respectively. So he still could have made some moves and beaten me, but whew, so glad we did not have that happen. As we go to the Azure drops, you'll see it's a lot of pitching, but it's because we were looking for bulk relief and looking for a little bit of help, and we absolutely need it. Spencer Miles Mikolas. Oh, I didn't realize they worked so well together. Keeper Ruiz, Brant Herter, who actually ended up hurting me on Monday because he got -8, so that kind of stinks. Finally, Tyler Alexander, who didn't even pitch for me, but it was still nice to have him. And then Simeon Richardson, because he's supposed to be a bulk reliever for Monday, and he pitched 1 inning. He got me like 3 or 5 points, so that's cool. In order to make room for those guys, we did have to make some tough decisions. We dropped Braxton Garrett, who I really thought was going to be good for us, but you crapped the bed. Also, Jack Perkins, I thought you knew how to pitch for the A's. I guess not. Also, Lars Nootbaar supposed to be starting a rehab assignment this week. I really like him mainly for his walks, but we'll see if I need to pick him back up. And finally, Miles Mikolas, who does nothing for us except burn a start and usually does not do well. But again, we had him for those 14 fabulous, miraculous points he got us this week. So thank you for your contributions, good sir. Now, at the end of this week, we are still undefeated, 7-0. There's one other undefeated team, and if I can get through this week undefeated, we play next week. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I don't want to look ahead because Who knows? I could lose this week and it doesn't even matter. But I'm looking forward to next week. As we finish up with the ESPN leagues, jump on over to the Yahoo leagues. The first team we're going to talk about is the Kent Murphy Dingers. This week, I led by as many as like 8-2 or 7-3 most of the week. But of course, come Sunday, my team must be like, oh, you wanted a comfortable win? No. Now, we did end up pulling out the win, 5 categories to 4. So that was nice, moving us to 7-1 on the season. But there are several things that could have happened differently to get me a tie or even a loss, despite having a decent lead going into Sunday. My opponent could have had one more strike from Mr. Soroka, who again, 13 strikeouts for the week was all we needed to win. And that's also what kept us from losing or tying that category. He also had Daniel Palencia pitch that day, and he got 0 Ks. So one more K from them, or each of them, and I would have lost that category, probably lost the week because he would have taken that over. Next, he could have started and kept Brian Rocchio and Nolan Arenado in his lineup, and that would have given him 3 runs to tie me in that category, therefore losing another one for me. And then I could have picked up a pitcher who did not get 3 strikeouts. I picked up Brandon Young. Terrible decision. He went 3 2/3, but he picked up 3 strikeouts, and that's exactly what I needed in order to maintain my strikeout lead on the guys. So, woo! As we move to the people who helped us get this big victory, the first guy we have to talk about is Nick Kurtz. 3 home runs and 9 RBIs, finding your stride these last few weeks, and I'm so glad I kept you. Then Corbin Carroll and Dalen Lyle both had 2 home runs each for me. Dalen Lyle, I missed out on a few of your home runs, man, but he had me 6 RBIs. Corbin Carroll, you picked me up 2 stolen bases, so thank you for that. Then we move to the pitching. Christopher Sanchez again. But also Brian Wu, you got me a win and 9 Ks. We had 3 saves from Cade Smith, again, another name you're going to hear a lot. And then Raleigh O'Brien and Paul Sewald both had me 2 saves each. On the other side, we missed home runs by Dalen Lyle, Christian Yelich, and Zach Neto. That would have won us that category. Now, we still won, but it would have been a little nice to have that cushion. We also missed Mackenzie Gore against the freaking Diamondbacks. What a gem! And that would have obviously given me another win, which would tie that category, and more strikeouts, which would give me a little better cushion, and would have helped with the ERA and whip. So, yeah, cool. Don't worry, we started him against Colorado this week, and yeah. You jumped on the ground and hurt your lat. Bro, whatever. In any case, we did not have good outings from Carlos Rodon or Brandon Young. Oh, Lord, what happened? Both of y'all went 3 innings and decided like, yeah, no, we ain't going to do any more work. And then my relievers, Lord, Lucas Ursich, Abner Uribe, and Paul Sewald all gave up runs. Now, Abner Uribe and Paul Sewald both had blown saves and losses, which don't count against. But the ERA and whip does. They do. That's not good. We know over the adds and drops. We did have a big ad in Framber Valdez. We also added Henry Bolt along with Mr. Brandon Young. That was terrible on my part. And Brooks Lee, because I was like, oh, well, let's have someone who can spell Bryce Terang if we need a second baseman. Well, we ended up dropping Brooks Lee and Henry Bolt and Mr. Perdomo. That one hurt a little bit because I think I missed a solo base from him, so that would have given us another win. But anyway, whatever. Then we also dropped Robbie Stelling because he had a terrible start and now he's on IL. And then we had to drop Matt Chapman. We had to, dude. He was like barely doing anything. He started out so good and then fell off. Now he's going to get hot at some point in time, but he's probably not going to be on my team. At the end of this week, we are 7-1. Cheapy lost week 1, but we're not worried about that because we're going to be looking ahead, focusing on the good stuff. And I will take 7-1 all day, any day. Now we're going to move on to the Cucumbas, where this week we edged out another victory, 6-4. Now, we're going to keep winning, or we can keep winning, or we have been winning, and that's good. But we need to make it a little bit of a stretch. We need to break away a little bit because we're still in 3rd. We've not lost a week. We've stayed in 3rd. But yeah, we need to have more than a 1 or 2 category victory if we want to, one, stay in the hunt for top record at the end of the year, but also the playoff hunt. I think only the top 4 make it the playoffs. So let's win some, guys. For the record, our total on the year is 47, 30, and 3. So again, a winning record, but still has 30 losses. That's not great. Only 3 ties. So very, very happy about that. But I really, again, do not want this to come down to half a game here and half a game there because of the ties. I really just want to say, you know what? Nope, we got full wins. We are, full sending us to the playoffs. No questions. No, oh, this is the last week. We have to win this number to get in the playoffs. No, I don't want to do that. And I'm telling you right now, the fact that we fell short on strikeouts by 2 and freaking whip by 0.05 does not help me with the fact that could have, should have won more categories. But now moving on to the people that helped us win. My man, Dalen Lyle, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. What's up? We had 2 home runs each from Dylan Dingler, Dingleberries, Dingler Dingers, Luis Arias, and Yandy Diaz. Of course, we have that gem from Christopher Sanchez. Love that I have him in so many leagues. Also had really good outings from Arrighetti Spaghetti, Brian Wu, and Otani, and he had 3 saves from Cade Smith. On the other side, very slow weeks from Ernie Clement, Brandon Marsh, and Yandy Diaz. Again, despite the 2 home runs. Come on, man, need more from him. And then we had a really, really bad set of pitching from starters, Brandon Young, and then relievers, Bednar, Gregory Soto, and Paul Sewald. Not great, but we did enough to win. As you see the adds and drops, we added Brandon Young, bad decision. Mackenzie Gore ended up being a bad decision. Also, Bryce Miller, good decision. And Troy Johnson, first baseman for the Rockies. Really hitting on these Rockies players. Glad they're getting some stuff going out. Mojo up in Colorado. And then to make room for them, we dropped Brandon Young. That was a good decision. Jung Ho Lee. That was kind of tough because you did do work for me, but not as much as I would like. Jake Wilson, that hurt, mainly because you got hurt. And then, oh man, Kyle Leahy. You're not sexy. You get the job done, but you're not sexy. And I need sexy pitchers like the Bryce Young, the Otani. Hopefully Tariq Skubal's coming back in about a month. So, yeah. So again, Cucumbas, you're chugging along, man. You're doing well, but we need a few more wins. And now speaking of wins, we're gonna head to the Cheese Weasels, where we don't have to worry about wins because it's a roto league. It's just stats. So we are sitting in 4th place with 90.5 points. That's not great, but we did move up at some point in time. We were up to 95. So just fluctuating here and there. Not going to start to make too many moves until closer to the All-Star break, because that's when need to get the wins, need to get the strikeouts, keep the ERA and whip in a good place. And then, from there, we'll worry about the batting stats. We did unfortunately have to make a big move this week, so you'll learn about it next week. But let's go ahead and get to the people that did help us. And of course, we'll start with Dalen Lyle, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, stolen base. Oh, my man. We also had 2 home runs from Yordan Alvarez, 1 from Zach Neto, 1 from Mickey Moniak, and 1 from Zach DeLauder. Dalen Lyle also had a stolen base. Chandler Simpson had 2 stolen bases. Moving to the pitching, Zach Wheeler had 1 win. Skeens had 1 win. Jason Adam had a win, and Devin Williams had a win. We also had a hold from Jason Adam and a hold from Avenue Uribe. We had a save from Avenue Uribe. We also had a save from Devin Williams, and we had 2 saves from Mr. Paul Sewald. On the other side, Paul Skeens, man, you got a loss. I really thought it was going to be a pitcher's duel, but it was not. You lost against the Phillies. And then we get 2 blown saves and losses, both of which came from Mr. Avenue Uribe and Paul Sewald. That stinks. Then we did miss a freaking home run from Christian Yelich, because who thought he was going to hit a home run his first game back? Not me. Spencer Torkelson, Josh Jung, I know it's young, Nico Horner, and Liam Hicks all had slow weeks, so that was not great. Need y'all to pick it up. Let's move to the ads and drops. We added Henry Bolt. Then we dropped Henry Bolt and Spencer Jones and Robbie Snelling. That's going to do it for the recaps for week 7 or week 8, whichever week that you're counting this as. This is episode 7. Now let's talk about the people you should add. I'm going to go ahead and say you need to be adding some guys that you wouldn't necessarily think you need to add. Ryan Nelson has not a super sexy ERA because he got blown up in one of his starts, but he has a 1.16 whip, and he's going tonight against the Rangers. So I'm excited to see how that's going. Also, you need to look up Mike Soroka. If you don't have him, which it might be crazy that people are thinking, oh, what do you mean? Everyone's got him. Yeah, well, I released him in a few leagues, and now it's coming back to bite me. But Soroka is doing great. Just don't know how much longer he's going to be doing great. Another pitcher you should add is Kyle Leahy for the Cardinals. He's not sexy. His numbers aren't going to blow you away, but he does enough to keep the other team off the board, right? He's got me 2 wins the last 2 times I started him, so let's look at that. And the final starting pitcher I think you should look at is Josh Schlottens. He plays for the Rays. He's a bulk reliever. He's going to be starting this week at I'm not even sure he's going to be against, but it's a good matchup. I think it's the Orioles. So I like that because it does not burn a start. So Petrie Purgatory is huge for that. So again, just be mindful of those bulk relievers who can help get you those cheapy wins, especially if the offense can blow up for the opener, and then they come in and they're just cruising, right? As we move from starters to relievers, I really don't know if you want to do anything with Houston. Brian Abreu didn't work out. Brian King didn't work out. Ineos, Santos, whatever his name is, didn't work out. Kyle Ort didn't work out, or Steve Ort, whatever his name is. I don't know if you want to do anything with that whole pitching rotation. And then on the hitting side, they lost Carlos Correa, they lost Altuve. They're literally on fumes, and that's with Yordan Alvarez, who's going to have to carry that team. So not an offense I want any part of, but did want to talk about there being several options if they're able to win games. Watch them absolutely blow my Yankees up whenever they play. Any case, also want to say the Blue Jays relievers, Rogers got a little look. You also have what's his name? Hoffman getting looks here and there, even though I don't understand why. Of course, Varland. So that's also, I won't say it's in flux. I think it's pretty much Varland's job, but mix it and match it a little bit here and there. Speaking of Varland, guy in Washington, Gus Varland, he's got to be the brother of Louis Varland. He's got to be, right? Absolutely. In any case, now moving to some hitters. If you have an IL spot for a little bit, look up Lars Nootbaar. This man is a walking machine going into an offense with some guys that are humming. Burleson, Walker, Mason Wynn's doing well. You got Ivan Herrera. I mean, they're not bad. They're not sexy. But if Walker can keep this up, if Burleson is going to keep hitting 290 like he did last year, I mean, I think he's hitting like 270 something right now. Like, if they keep putting runs up, that's not bad, okay? I'd definitely be looking at that. Also, Weatherholt, he's doing his thing, right? A few more hitters you should probably look at. Henry Bolt for the Athletics. He's an outfield. He's got some power, got some speed. I don't know if he's going to be doing everything like that in the major league level. Got to get used to it, but already stolen base, already had a few hits here and there. I also think you should probably look at Mr. Jacob Young, outfielder for the Nationals. Now, again, he's not going to blow you away, but better than Dylan Cruz, who's not even doing anything right now. I mean, yeah, he's in minors and stuff like that, but he's not going to get you Dalen Lyle numbers, but he'll probably get you a home run here and there. Look at that. And then the last person I think you should look at, none other than Brooks Lee. I know I picked him up and then I dropped him, but he's got multi-position eligibility. He's in an offense that can get some stuff going. Josh Bell just hit 2 home runs the other day. Almost made me lose in that league because my opponent had him. But, I mean, people are going to get lucky. He might get around. He's got a few stolen bases. Luke Keeschel is also another guy. He's got some stolen bases, got some walks. Not as sexy as batting average, but a few guys to look at in that offense for the Twins. Could be a little something for you. That's going to do it for the recaps. Is doing it for the people I think you should add. Really more so hitting on potential and opportunity rather than actual production. But as always, happy to talk about how good these teams did. Never want to talk about the negative, but it's going to come up. Let's hope that we have less negative and more positive overall, not only in the world, but also with fantasy. This is JK. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.